Solomon said in Proverbs 1:10, Solomon said, my son, if sinners entice you, do not consent. Don't consent. See, when sinners try to entice you, you need to know the word no. You don't need to be ashamed to say out of your mouth, we don't do that. Come on, they simple words. We don't do that. I don't do that. I don't play with that. I don't listen to that. I don't dance to that. I don't worship that. But will sinners try to entice you? I said, will sinners try to entice you? Will sinners leave you alone just because you go to church? Will they leave you alone just because you're a minister, a deacon, an elder, a leader in the church? No, sinners try to entice leaders. That's why you have so many church leaders doing what they shouldn't be doing, but somebody enticed them. And then, too, as you turn to the book of Judges, the 16th chapter, understand what you got to know, too. When folk try to entice you and then they try to use on you, well, so-and-so doing it and she saved. See, you got to know when folk bring up certain folk names, you got to know whether you say it to them or not. Yeah, but she ain't truly saved. He ain't fully delivered. You talking about a churchgoer versus a disciple. Come on, they're a churchgoer. I'm a disciple. Because I know folks that try to entice you with that. Well, why y'all preaching this way? I know Reverend so-and-so, he tell his church such and such and such and such. But do you want to really be a part of Reverend so-and-so congregation when they doing any and everything? You got to understand, every place that claim to be a church is not God's house. Come on. This just the truth. And let me tell you, sometimes when God is really using you, when he really has his hands upon your life, sometimes the more people will try to entice you. Some of us, we didn't face certain things, certain temptation, until we started being active in the church. Until you got in ministry. Till you start fulfilling your call. Then all of a sudden, these things start coming. But see, they were coming to pull you out. You don't even have to be saved. You can just start going to a good church. Start getting your mind right. Start changing your mindset. You're thinking differently. All of a sudden, things will come out of your past to try to get you to stop going to church. Things will start enticing you. People will start approaching you. See, I'm careful about people who approach me. I need to know from God, what is their motive? Come on. Because if I don't, I could be today standing up here being used by God in a mighty way, but then tomorrow I'm enticed and I fall to something. Judges 16, verse number 4. Afterward, it happened that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the lords of the Philistine came up to her and said to her, entice him and find out where his great strength lies, and by what means, look at this, we may overpower him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And every one of us will give you 1,100 pieces of silver. The lords of the Philistines paid Delilah to entice Samson. Woo. And tell your neighbor, you know the enemy, he ain't changed. Tell somebody, some of his tactics are still the same. Look at here. They offered Delilah money. We'll pay you to entice him. We will be a blessing to you if you'll entice him to do wrong. See, there's a lot of folk in sports, in entertainment, that they get paid or blessed to entice folk. She got millions of followers. That's how they're paying her. Because they use her body and her looks to entice folk. Come on. There's certain music that people create, and it's created to entice folk. Come on. Now, I don't mean to be hard when I say this, but look how the industry used R. Kelly to entice folks. And watch and look how quickly, when they was done with him, that they dropped him and picked up another one who could entice better than him. And see, that's the reason sometimes you see people doing wicked stuff to entice people. At the time, the Philistines couldn't do nothing with Samson because God had gave him supernatural strength, and he was killing their kingdom. And so they said, look, if we gonna get this man, the only way to get him is through a woman. Listen, and when it comes to the enemy and men, he's still using that same trick on some men. You want to get him to fall? Send him a woman. And according to biblical history, Delilah was beautiful. And Samson fell in love with her, which says to me, sometimes you can fall in love with the wrong thing. He fell in love with the very thing that wanted to kill him, that wanted to trap him. Be careful what you are attracted to. Be careful what you like. Because there's too many powerful men of God that keep falling because of women. Change your mentality.